Let's go, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Week 6 college football matchups, man. Are y'all excited as I am? Because we here for another week college football. It's hard to believe we already at darn near the mid-season. Close to. Week 6, they only play 12 games for regular season. Wow. It's going fast. It's been fun. I appreciate all the love and support, man. Y'all are the best on my TikTok, on my YouTube. Love y'all, man. If y'all on my YouTube, man, help me get to that 1,000 subscribers, man. And also, if you're on my TikTok, man, help me get to that 1,000 followers as well, man. Love y'all. Let's get into it.
All right, now, interestingly enough, for Texas A&M, right, Connor Wigman started this season for them, but Marcel Reed has been balling for them. Now, I know the numbers, not the goalies, only 50% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, but did what he needed to do for them. Le'Veon Moss has been a stud this year as well, so he's going to be one to watch for them. But I don't know. I think Missouri this year, I think they got it. Now, when I look at Missouri, Brady Cook's having a pretty good year. Nearly 1,000 yards passing already. Nate Noel, 441 yards. Theo Weiss, leading receiver right now, which is surprising because they got Luther Burden, who's one of the best prospects coming up in this 2025 NFL draft. So Missouri got definitely weapons. I like their defense. In this one, it's going to be a tough test on the road, obviously, a ranked opponent. But I think Missouri's going to be ready to go. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and I think they're going to be able to air it out with Brady Cook, Theo Weiss, and obviously Luther Burden. And I think for Texas A&M, if they're going to win this game, they got to get the running game started early and often. But I'm rolling with Missouri to come out on top. Yep, that's right. Tigers win. Got them coming on top and winning this game. All right, tonight you got Michigan State, Oregon. I think Oregon got it. I think they've knocked out some of them jitters from early season against Boise State, Idaho. And I think they're rolling offensive. Dylan Gabriel looks a lot better. Tej Johnson's been balling out for the Ducks so far. I think it's going to be too much offense for Michigan State to handle. I got them winning by 21+. Oregon wins that one pretty easy. I'm going with the Ducks. All right, now you got this one right here. You got Syracuse, UNLV. Now, UNLV had a new quarterback after Matthew Sluka decided to redshirt. He came in, Hodge, and he had a really, really big game for them. Playing a different opponent in Syracuse. Syracuse has shown that they can stop the run so far this season. Won't be easy going on the road on Fox Sports 1. I like Syracuse offense. It is a tough environment. But I think I'm going to roll with the orange on this one. I think I'm going to roll with the orange to give UNLV their first loss of the season. I could be wrong, but I think those receivers, man, that they got, along with Kyle McCord and the way he's playing this year, Orondon, excuse me, sorry, I messed up his name, and Payne, Trevor Payne, I think they got the receivers in order to match up with UNLV, and I think they're going to be able to torch them in this one. So I'm going with the orange. All right, next one, you got Ohio State, obviously, versus Iowa. I watched some highlights as well. Watch the team. I've not seen them play in person yet or on TV, Iowa, but when I looked at some of the replays and the highlights, it's not a good passing attack, right? They're one of the probably bottom-rated at passing attacks in the country. They can't run the ball well with Johnson, who has 685 yards and 9 touchdowns, but they're kind of a one-trick pony, and that's not good. When you're playing Ohio State, you got to be versatile. You got to be big play. You got to be explosive. Like we already seeing what Will Howard's doing, 1,000 yards passing and 8 touchdowns. And they can run the ball. Like, Quishon Judkins is already having a good year. We knew that was going to happen when he transferred over there, right? Him with Travion Henderson and Jeremiah Smith having a great year. Again, I think he's one of the top players here in the country as far as a freshman. I only put Ryan Williams ahead of him. But I think that's a little bit too much to ask the Iowa on the road against Ohio State. Heavily favored, expect to make the college football playoff, expect to be a national title contender. Good luck. I don't see it. I don't think they have enough offense to match Ohio State, and I think Ohio State's going to get up early and often in this one, and it's going to make it tough. So I'm going with the Buckeyes. Next matchup, you got Auburn versus Georgia, right? A lot of people think Georgia's going to spank them. Now, I'll tell you what, y'all. Auburn is 2-3, but they are a battle-tested team, okay? They've played some good teams. They should have beat Oklahoma. A lot of one-score games. Quarterback throws a pick six. That pretty much alters the game. A lot of people blaming, Hugh Freeze for how he calls plays and how his offenses are run. Kind of being the problem, not necessarily the quarterbacks, but they got a major flip. I talked about it on my channel, so y'all go back and watch it with Deuce Knight, who I think is their quarterback of the future. And I think everything is on the up and up for this Auburn Tigers team, right? It's just they got the growing pains. It's going to take time, right? But I think Georgia's going to be too much at home. I think this game is going to be better than most people think, but I got Georgia coming out by, I say a 10 to 14-point favorite. Yeah, so I think the Bulldogs, with Carson back, they got it going at the end of the game against Alabama. Dylan Bell, Arian Smith, could run the ball with Trevor Etienne. I think they're going to run it more in this game than they did last game. I think it's going to be too much, but I do like Auburn's receivers, Cam Coleman and obviously Malcolm Simmons. They are dogs. They're elite, but I just think it's going to be too much to ask for it on the road. And I think the quarterback's going to make 1 or 2 mistakes that kind of puts it out of reach. All right, the game down below, you got Clemson versus Florida State. I'm going to go with Clemson, 7 p.m. kickoff. Florida State struggling. They're 1-4. DJU will not be in this game. He is hurt with a finger injury. So they'll have a new starter that's taking over. Florida State is not what we expected this year. They were supposed to be one of the top teams, one of the contenders in the ACC, and that has not happened. Now, tough road test for Clemson. A lot of people feel that Clay Klubnik has arrived. They feel like, he's having a great season. I just want to see him against a formidable opponent. And, I wouldn't say Florida State is, but that's still a tough environment to play in, whether they're up or down as far as when it comes to Florida State. But they should be able to come out on top. They can run the ball. Sammy Brown's starting to get some play on the defensive side of the ball. They've been playing really good defensively as well. Offense is getting it rolling, running the ball well with Phil Maffa. So I think they come out on top. They win this one by 21+. I'm going to go with Clemson Tigers. All right, next one, a tough test right here. Tennessee, Arkansas. When you look at Tennessee and what they got with Nico Alemi-Leva, a really good wide receiver depth as well. And they got a really good defense, probably one of the better ones in the SEC. I think they can come out on top in this one. Now, obviously, they got some really good players. Taylor Green for Arkansas. They can run the ball with their elite running back. But, yeah, they can run the ball with Jaquindon Jackson. So it's going to be tough. Tough road test. That's a sneaky game. I think it's going to be better than what most people think. But I'm still going to roll with the road team. I think Tennessee this year, this is their year to make some noise. And with Nico at the quarterback, a potential Heisman candidate. Potential, like I said. Not saying he is, but potential. I think Tennessee wins that one. I'm going with the Volunteers. All right, next you got Michigan versus Washington. Michigan has been doing a thing. A number 10 team. Right, quarterback has been playing well. Alex Ujiri is now the starter for them. They can run the ball well, obviously with Donovan Edwards. Won't be easy playing on the road at Washington, but I think Michigan wins this one. Really good defensive team. Can cause turnovers. I got to go with the Wolverines. All right, next you got Florida versus UCF. How will Florida look now kind of after, I believe they had a bye week, if I'm not mistaken. But UCF, right, kind of got shell-shocked a little bit playing in Colorado, right? That was the team that's supposed to win. A heavy favorite. People say you can't win in the bounce house, and they got abused. So how will they respond? Really good running back tandem that they got, one of probably the better ones you will see. Really good weapons on the outside as well. But how will they respond? KJ Jefferson, Gus Malzahn, going on the road and playing a Florida team who got a lot on the line. Not having their best season, but if Billy Napier can turn it around, they can get maybe 8 to 9 wins. He might be able to keep his job. It just depends. Big game for both teams. And I am going to roll with the Florida Gators to come out on top. They hand UCF their second loss of the season. All right, last but not least, you got Miami versus Cal. They say it's a sneaky game that Cal could possibly contend with Miami. I don't believe so. I think that Miami's going to be reeling with a lot of momentum, especially after being able to hold on and beat Virginia Tech. I know it's a long trip. I know it's far out in California, but I believe they're going to be ready to go. Xavier Restrepo, Arroyo, Cam Ward, who's a Heisman candidate, obviously, Damian Martinez. I think they're going to be ready. And I think that fast-flying defense is going to bring the heat. So I'm rolling with my Hurricanes, man. They come out on top, keep it rolling, and continue to kind of keep stride with Clemson as far as battling and contending for an ACC championship. All right, now as y'all can see real quick, I did much better on my Week 5 college football pick'em. I went 6-3 this week, man, so a much better week for me. Auburn, they could have got me, man. I would have been like 7-2. I got, hey, y'all saw what happened. The pick six that ended the game as well. I called the Colorado one. Miami, obviously, I know it's controversy in that one. Had Notre Dame winning as well. Oklahoma State lost to Kansas State. Boise State, Ashton Genty had another big game, or Genty, I should say, had another big game. Ohio State obviously won theirs. Ole Miss lost to Kentucky for the first time in a long time, and their first win since 1978, going there and winning at the SIP. And then obviously Penn State held on and beat Illinois, and then Auburn lost. So not a bad week. Let's see how I do on Week 6, man, and we'll come back and respond next week. But comment below who you taking in these matchups.